Appearance, why not? He's Zlatan.
International football is what we're talking about right now. This is the fan zone on Touchline Y254. My name is Maxwell Wasike. Keep talking to us. What do you think about Ibrahimovic's move from Man United to Los Angeles Galaxy, a team that David Beckham, the English winger, former, also signed for? And American football has been trying to bring in some epic players to ensure that they raise the profile and magnitude of their league. But now away from matters Zlatan to another thing that is eliciting mixed reactions, especially on social media platforms. Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt, also a Man United fan, and I'm also reliably informed is a Real Madrid diehard supporter, trying some other venture. Is he trying to enjoy his retirement, Patrick Mleka?
You saying it's a guy that I like so much because it's a guy who said when he started this, it's not even his career. He was something in basketball. That's why he started when he was young. Then he said he wanted to go into football. Somehow he landed into, track. Then after that he said he's going to play for Manchester United. That's where he wanted, or he supports Manchester United. Then he says he's going to be at Borussia Dortmund to play, there. It's a guy who, I think he loves football. And it's a guy who can try out some things. Though in retirement, I think also he misses that limelight, He's a guy who's been there for those years. We love him, we like him. Now he wants actually to try something else. And why not? He can try with the Borussia Dortmund. He can play a few games. He can even come to Manchester United, perhaps have a friendly in that sport. He's a guy that I think he can make a name again in that particular field. And then also we're looking at the world over. They want to know, where is this guy? Where is Usain Bolt? What is he doing? What is he going to do next? I think what he's taking is just to make, the world continue where he left. Where they left him or where he left them. Yeah.
And on your screens, of course, Jamaican sprinter Usain Bolt training with Borussia Dortmund, a team that is expressed an interest to joining. What do you think about this former runner? So we all know that he was the fastest runner, but can he emulate the same in football when Borussia Dortmund finally acquires his signature and probably have him as their player? Do you think he can sparkle like he did in athletics arena?
No way. First of all, two things that Borussia have done perfectly. He's going to bring in the t-shirt sales.
Yeah.
When he's signed in, he's going to bring the t-shirt sales. Secondly, the merchandise is going to go off the top. Mm-hmm. For me to put him in a game immediately, even if they're playing with Frankfurt, even if they're playing with Cologne, no, I can't. This is the reason why. Whether he chooses the left wing or the right wing, he has some pace. Okay, we can say he's a bit fast. Okay, but there's the whole idea of dribbling. There's the whole idea of understanding the squad members. There's the whole idea of understanding the formation. There's the whole idea also of understanding the instructions from the manager. What is your role as Usain Bolt on the field? Are you going to be on the right wing? Okay, so are you going to cover also behind your right back? Okay, are you going to cut in to the forwards? All this lingo, you don't just wake up one day as much as we are here in studio, we say we want to become footballers. We have to understand all these concepts. He is going to get a chance to play. I would, if I was the manager, I would put him in a cup game. You understand? In a cup game that is not taken seriously. I would put him in some reserve fixtures. But to put him in the main squad, not even next season, to be honest.
So yesterday, of course, last night, a lot of friendlies happened. Austria beating Slovenia 3-0. Argentina pulling an upset against Italy, beating them 2-0. Lanzini scoring, as well as Banega, of course, some sort of unfamiliar names scoring for Argentina. Germany against Spain, ending in a all draw. Poland, of course, being beaten by Nigeria, the Super Eagles, one of the representatives from Africa as far as World Cup is concerned. In Russia, beating Poland, and Portugal beating Egypt 2-1. Scotland being beaten by Costa Rica 1-0. France, another surprise, being beaten by Colombia 3-2. And France, talking about the Les Bleus, they have been tipped as the favorites to win this year's World Cup. Thomas Lemar and Olivier Giroud scoring for French national team. So talking about the last night fixtures, a lot of, mouth-watering clashes that happened last night. England beating Netherlands. England, I happen to be their supporter, but it has been said that England is like Kenyan version of Harambee Stars. They win when it doesn't matter. What do you think about their performance, even as we head to World Cup in Russia?
I might say this. There are fans of England national team, you included. The best team I can say was the one that was in South Africa. I can't say for the last like 10, 15 years, that was the best English team to ever grace an international.
Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard,
I'm saying
John Terry.
that was the best. I'm sorry to say that I don't think that we are going to have anything bigger from England. That squad, I have a problem with
It looks depleted.
It's not. I mean, look at it. There are no names. There are no people who can actually win the game for national team. Look at the likes of Beckham those days. Look at the likes of Paul Scholes those days. Look at Lampard. Look at Gerrard those days. There are guys who will change the game anytime. I looked at England playing yesterday. We may say they are young guys, right? But even the last World Cup, we had the young guys we were talking about last time, right? And it didn't, even Euro, just the other day, we were saying that it was the best. They had gone about 14 games unbeaten, and we were like, they're going to make something. They didn't make it. For me, I don't rate England at this World Cup. Perhaps say other teams. Look at, even compare that to Argentina, for example. You talked about Lanzini, you talked about Iva Banega. People we don't know, but they got the international stage, they do what they did, right? But in terms of consistency, England are very consistent. Qualifiers, friendlies, they do better. But come to now the tournament, you need results, my friend. You'll have even a heart attack, because when you expect them to get a result, they get something else.
Josaina, luckily enough, for the first time, I've met someone who is proud to rely on fan in yourself, because we have a lot who are supporting England, but they're scared of publicly making that announcement. And it's like Arsenal supporters who never, open and declaring their fanatism for the team. What do you think about England's chances of sparkling? The last time they won this thing was in 1966, during times of Sir Bobby Charlton.
Yes. So, first of all, I would like to agree with Patrick on his opinion. There's a famous manager who said once, you can't win any trophies with these kids. Okay? So, what I like about Gareth Southgate and what he has done, he's taken the England team and shaken it up completely. Okay? We are looking at winners like Wayne Rooney being a substitute, not even featuring in the game itself. We are looking at the likes of Jamie Vardy, who recently won the Premier League, not even been featured. But I'd like us to think about the formation that they played yesterday, and why I'm so excited about the Summer World Cup. They played with a 3-back of Joe Gomez, Harry Maguire, and and Kyle Walker. Now, if you go to the midfield, this is where now Liverpool fans will be very pleased. They played with Henderson and Oxlade-Chamberlain. Okay, and then on the wings, who are going to play on the right back and also as an attacking, and also the left back as an attacking, we had Danny Rose on one side, and we had Kieran Trippier from Tottenham. Already that team screams speed. Okay, we haven't even gone to the attackers. Let's deal with those two aspects first. In the previous squads we had the likes of John Terry and Gary Cahill. They're not the fastest people around. Okay, earlier we were talking about Leighton Baines. His days are over. On the right side, we can't play Glenn Johnson anymore. Okay, the game is evolving with the speed. All right, some established teams like Italy will sit you down and say, look at Juventus, look at AC Milan. We don't need to play fast, but we'll get the job done. We'll get the job done, but when you reach the final, you beat Mavericks like Bayern Munich, who have put in youngsters, who the same youngsters are going to the World Cup and representing. They used the youngsters, and did they not win? For England right now, I like the pedigree. Yesterday, Jesse Lingard scored a marvelous goal. I like the pedigree that he's coming in. And I believe if we can stick with the same squad, add in a bit of experience, to Patrick's point, a bit of experience, put in a Wayne Rooney, put in maybe a Jamie Vardy at some point, okay? But stick with these youngsters. Have a 5-year plan. Look at the World Cup as we will do quarters or semis, okay? But after 5 years, stick to the same squad. We are going to get somewhere.
I was forgetting that to mention that a player who scored for England last night is a Man United player, and that's why I've seen a lot of people in town even heading to work donning Man United jerseys. But of course,
I'll agree with that.
plenty of fixtures. Patrick Mleka, what was your standout tie last night?
Last night, I was disappointed with France. Because this is one of the teams that when you look at the stars in that team, you think they're going to do well. But they were defeated again. And you're looking at their defense. I don't know what's wrong with their defense. They play well. They have passing game, as he said. We have one of the young stars who are playing well. They move the game. But sometimes, just reaches